War. It's often depicted in sweeping terms of good versus evil. Nations, armies, ideals clash and collide. But what about the individual caught in the web? The man, the woman, the person forced to ask the question, not just how do I fight, but why am I fighting? Ernest Hemingway's 1940 novel, For Whom the Bell Tolls, pulls us away from the grand stage and dropped us into a pine-scented, tension-filled mountain in the depths of Spain during the brutal Civil War. It's a story that explores the weight of one man's life within the vast collective struggle of the war. This novel follows Robert Jordan. He's an American professor who volunteered to fight for the Republican cause against the fascists. He's no ordinary soldier. He's a dynamiter, an expert in explosives. His mission throughout the novel is his most critical one so far. Deep behind enemy lines, he must locate a band of guerrilla fighters, earn their trust, and then blow up a very vital bridge to prevent the enemies from reinforcing. The catch? He's only got a few days. This ticking clock structures the whole narrative. As Jordan prepares for the attack, he navigates the dynamics of each and every person in the group. What they're suspicious of, who they're loyal to, and what they're afraid of. He also meets a young woman named Maria, who's been scarred by the war, and with her, discovers a sudden and profound love that offers a glimpse of life beyond the conflict, and gives Jordan a reason and drive to push forward and get out of the struggle. The novel becomes a tense, philosophical question into the value of duty, love, and sacrifice, where death doesn't just feel like it's possible, but inevitable. Let's take a look at Hemingway's Robert Jordan. He's a protagonist we see in a state of intense evolution, a code hero beginning as a disciplined idealist. He's committed to this cause with an academic detachment. His key motivation here is his duty, but his character development is a journey from that abstract ideology to a concrete human connection. His love for Maria, his bond with Pilar, and the wise old Anselmo, they force him to confront the real cost of his mission. He must weigh the success of the operation against the almost certain death of the people he now cares about. Speaking of Pilar, she's arguably the novel's most powerful force. As the de facto leader of the band, she's fierce, rough, and possesses an almost mystical intuition. She's the moral compass. She's honest and unflinchingly courageous. Her famous, horrifying account of the massacre in Pablo's town helps showcase her complexity. She's both disgusted by, yet engages in, the violence of war. She represents the tragic soul of Spain in this war itself. Let's take a look at this book's thematics. Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls is rich in themes. Love and war, loss of innocence, fatalism is the most sensual and famous that's expressed in this title. Taken from John Donne's poem, No Man is an Island. The theme is the profound interconnectedness of people. The guerrilla band is a microcosm of this idea. Robert Jordan, the American, can't succeed without the Spanish fighters. Their fates tied together by the bridge. This isn't just about camaraderie. It's a philosophical stance. The death of any individual, even an enemy, is a collective loss. The old man, Anselmo, embodies this, praying for the souls of men that he must kill. Robert Jordan internalizes it, realizing that though his action is for a good cause, it's still violent, and an act within the larger human family. The bell that tolls for the dead on the bridge also tolls for him, and by extension, for all of us, reminding us of our shared vulnerability and responsibility. In regards to the author's craft, Hemingway's style is perfectly suited to his subject matter. He has a stark, journalistic prose style. Short, declarative sentences that mirror the blunt reality of this war, and the practical mindset of Jordan. He layers this with a brilliant device, the use of archaic sounding English and then literal Spanish translations. Characters speak in a stilted, formal way, saying things like, "I think much of thee," instead of "I love you." This creates some deliberate distance, reminding us that we are reading a translation. It makes the world feel foreign and timeless, elevating the Spanish peasants to the level of classical heroic figures. His tone is consistently stoic and unflinching, yet beneath it runs a deep undercurrent of lyricism and emotion, especially in Jordan's internal monologues. The world is a fine place and worth the fighting for, and I very much hate to leave it. This famous line is so powerful because of its simplicity. The Hemingway style doesn't scream emotion. It whispers it with devastating effect, making the tragedy feel more authentic and earned. In regards to personal connection, this book's impact on me came through challenging my perception of heroism. We often think of heroes as the people who win, who achieve their goal against all odds, who do whatever they can to help other people. Hemingway asks, though, here, what if the true victory isn't in the objective, but how one's willing to face off against those things? Robert Jordan's journey taught me that meaning isn't always found in the grand success, but in the connection you make and in the integrity you hold towards that impossible situation, towards what you believe in. It raises difficult questions. Can love truly be found and fully lived in the shadow of death? Is duty to a cause greater than the duty to the person next to you? The novel doesn't really provide easy answers, but it sits with you, a solemn and a beautiful reminder of the cost of war and the preciousness of a human bond. For Whom the Bell Tolls is more than a war novel. It's a meditation on community, sacrifice, and the idea that in the end, we're all part of one another. It's a bit of a heavy read, but it's a necessary one. Thank you for watching.